Hey, what's up everybody? This is your boy AddioJ back in action here. In today's video, we're going to show you how to properly FTP files over to your original Xbox console. In today's demonstration, I'm going to be using Project Gotham Racing 2 DLC and a game save for it. This is for my community, but it can also be used for other files for your Xbox. Hopefully this will help everybody out in the community. Big shout out to Insignia once again. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this would be possible. Thank you guys. You're awesome. Alright, here we go. Starting it off. So, you're going to need two things. Some kind of file extraction program, or, just general knowledge of how to extract a .zip, but it is easier with WinRAR or 7-zip. And you're also going to need FileZilla. FileZilla is the easiest and most simple to use FTP program out there. It's free and it's recommended by a lot of people. Very easy to use. So just throwing that out there. So let's get started. Now this is on my personal PC just to show you guys, but any computer will work as long as it's connected with Ethernet to your Xbox somehow. Alright, let's get started. First one is the DLC. A lot of people have been having trouble with these. So, they are done a little bit differently for each one. So first we'll start with the DLC. Hopefully this will really help, guys. First thing you're going to want to do after downloading it is put it somewhere that you can remember. In this case, it's on the desktop. And just, remember where it's at. So we're going to go ahead and start by extracting it. That's the first step. Now this right here, that's just automatic wherever you have it at, but again, you can change it if you want, but just remember where you put it. And then just hit OK. Bada boom, bada bing. It extracted right there. Alright, it created the folder. Go into the folder, make sure it's all legit. Now in this case, it double extracted it, so you're going to go into it one more time. So this is not just one folder by itself, but it doesn't matter. That's fine, as long as you know where it's at. Okay, so now we're going to go to FileZilla. Bam! Alright, we're going to click on desktop because that's where I have it. In your case, this might be, wherever you put it, but most likely downloads folder. But in this case, it's just really easy. It's right there. Okay, second thing you're going to do is we're going to click into it. And there it is, just to make sure you know where it's at. Now, before we go on to the next steps, that's just showing you where it's at real quick. We're going to pause there for a sec and just tell you how to set up your FTP properly before you transfer files. If it is not done this way, your files will corrupt, and I'll get more into that here in a second. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into the settings. On Windows users, this is settings under edit. Go ahead and click that, and a little box will be here. You're going to want to go into FTP, just that part. Make sure your transfer mode is on passive, which is by default and recommended, not active. Make sure it is passive. Allow fallback, make sure that's checked as well, and you're done with that part. Alright? The next part is transfers. Okay? This is key here. Now, the rule is always -1 when you're transferring to whatever unit you're using. In the Xbox case, you have it set to 5 for maximum. So here is -1, so you want to make sure that's on 4. This is just in place to make sure your files are transferred reliably. It helps with the whole process to have that number 4 there. And then you're done with that part. The last part, which is the most important, is file types. Make sure your file types are on binary. Do not have that set to anything else. This is how the Xbox reads your files. If it can't read your files correctly, this will cause issues like not being able to connect to a game, not being able to load the files. You might get a prompt that says corrupt DLC or corrupt files. This is why this happens. It even says it right here. If you enter the wrong file types, those files may get corrupted when transferred. So this is very important. keep that on binary. Other than that, you're good. Then hit OK. I've already done this, so I don't have to do that. Then come up here to host, put in your Xbox's IP. For username, put in Xbox, all lowercase. Password, Xbox, all lowercase. Port, 21. And you are set. I'm not going to do that in this case because I've already done it, but that's all you got to do. And then you're going to hit Quick Connect. Once you do that, it will connect to your Xbox. It'll have a little prompt window right here, which I'm about to show you. And then it'll show all your Xbox stuff right here once you connect. We're going to go ahead and get started on the next part in part 2 of this video. I'm going to go turn on my Xbox and we will continue. Stay tuned. Alright, here is the second half of the video. So, once you're in on your Xbox, you're going to see all your partitions right here. Now, what you're going to want to do is go to wherever your games are at, or your Insignia setup, or whatever your main one is. Like mine is F. That's where I keep all my games. If you don't already have one, just right click and create a directory. Make yourself a DLC folder. That way you know where all your DLC's at. It's really a lot better to be organized than to not be. I know where all my stuff's at on my Xbox at all times because I organized it. So that will definitely help you in the long run for any game and any DLC. So in this case, I can come here anytime and I can see all my DLC, right? So definitely do that for yourself. I have a 2 terabyte hard drive, so I have F and G, but this is where I keep my games and all my DLC and all that. So wherever you keep all that, just make a new folder and you're good to go. Definitely do not put this in E. Don't put any DLC in E. You don't want to mess with E too much. This is where your game saves are at. So don't mess with that. Just do it on the new partition. Alright. Once you have that set up, go into where your DLC's at. Click your DLC here. And just to double check, let's make sure they're all there. Okay, they are. Go back up one, select the folder, and just drag it over. In this case, I've already done so I don't have to do that again. But if I go down to Project Gotham Racing DLC, it's right there. I also have a PAL version, that's why I renamed that. Also, if your folder name is too long, this one made the cut, but if it is too long, you can always change it like that. You can always shorten them if you want, and that's for any FTPing. And if, like I said, if it is too long, it'll tell you right here on failed transfers. But anyways, just drag and drop. It's really easy, and you're done. That's it. Drag this over there, and you're done. Make sure you're located on your PC. In this case, in the demonstration, I had it on desktop, and I found it, and there it was. So as long as you know where it's at and you've done everything correctly on here, like I showed you in the previous part of the video, like the binary thing and all that, then you are good to go. Alright, that's it on that part. Stay tuned for the next part. Alright, so here's the Xbox part. What you're going to want to do is first, you're going to notice your IP and all that down there. Doesn't matter if it's static or dynamic. If you've set it up properly with Insignia, it won't matter that it's on static. But when you're transferring that users down there, it will say 5 or 4. And that's normal. That's good. That means you set it up right. And then once you're done transferring it, do a soft restart on your Xbox. Just to ensure that it's refreshed. And then you're going to want to go to your File Explorer. You're going to want to find that DLC that you just did. And it's really simple. I mean, you're just going to go down to where it's at, and you're going to go into it, and you're going to launch the default.xpe. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and click it. Alright, there it goes. Alright, so this is pretty simple. Most of you probably already know this, but once again, you might not. So go ahead and install Paris, and then install Long Beach. Once you're done with that, hit Launch Installer 2. Once again, big shout out to Harcroft and Amy Girl. Thank you for providing all this offline DLC for everybody in Insignia. We appreciate everything you guys are doing. Thank you very much. Alright, the next part is really easy too. If you have NTSC version of the game, or NTSC J, click this one. If you have PAL, click this one. Do not click the opposites from the version you have of the game. It will definitely corrupt it. So don't do PAL if you have NTSC version of the game. Don't do NTSC if you have PAL version of the game. It's really simple here, guys. Once you're done with that, hit Restart Xbox, and you're done. That's it. Hopefully this will help everybody. Hopefully showing everyone how this works will help. And stay tuned.